This is Jump and Shoot playing Metaphor Refantasio and for the PSP, and I can't be a Pokemon Let's Play without talking about the Pokemon leaks that have come out this month in October. I don't know how that happened. I'm sure whoever did that, their family is in good hands behind Nintendo's personal jail. So far, all I've seen is a lot of the sprites for the beta Pokemon, and a lot of the lore that they wrote. The very questionable Lapras, Typhlosion, Slackgoth lore that they made. Well, I think the thing is with them is that they're very little translations of very literal swap-ins from like traditional Japanese folklore, that they just, it's pretty obvious that they just like swapped in a Pokemon with whatever yokai fantasy character that is normally in these Japanese stores. I have the fan on, you might hear it. I'm gonna try to face away from it with the mic and just talk really close so that you don't like hear it. But anyway, you kind of tell they just kind of swapped it in, and this was like the test to see like how they could write like legends for these Pokemon or myths or whatever. Like how would that work? How would that translate for certain Pokemon? I kind of get it, but at the same time, did they have to do the stories, or like the demon of the story like has sex with a lady and then marries her, and then her child is like a half beast, half version of a human, and then they just have like this freak baby that everyone wants to kill? Like, did they have to do those ones? It's like, how well can they fit Typhlosion into this kind of story? Or what's it called, Slackgoth. God, why did they do that twice? Skyla is Latina. Shadow the Hedgehog's favorite type of woman. What am I supposed to be doing? I think I'm just supposed to go now. Like, I have the option to explore the rest of the map. Not that I have all the HMs. There's no more gyms to do. There's no more nothing. Like, I can go to the abandoned ship now if I want. I can go. I don't know if I can do the Reggie's mission right now, but I can do other stuff right now, and I have the Eon flute, so I can revisit the sky if I want to, and other stuff which I don't want to do right now. Just gonna go over here. Actually, what I also talking about this game, I didn't realize that you could rebattle trainers if you go down here. I hope I didn't talk about this already, but like, you can fight any of the trainers that are on the routes, and they'll have like stronger teams if you want to grind some more. Like, you don't have to only go to the Elite Four all the time. Since you can't go to the Elite Four right now, like, it's probably better to do that, to just refight trainers until you feel okay. But I wish that included gym leaders too. Even, I know it doesn't make sense now, but like, after the game is over, it would make sense if you could rebattle the gym leaders like you can in Emerald. We're using the call nav machine thingy. Or I can go to Shoal Cave if I want to, but I don't remember how that one works. But anyway, I got to see a lot of the beta Pokemon, and that's cool to see their process of like how they make some of these. Like, this little chart in particular I'm looking at, it shows them in order they were created. So Camerupt is the first designed one for Gen 3. And I didn't put it together that like the blue circles pattern on its body are referring to the fact that it's like Pokemon number 000, technically speaking, in terms of design order. Like, it's the first one they made. It's 000, and then they made Pelipper, and then Nuzleaf, and so on and so on and so on. Like, it didn't start with the starters. That's interesting, because I'm also I was also about to go in order of like the Pokemon that I'm designing. I will talk about them in their own video once I do at least all three of the starters, and I'll do some of the other ones in a different group. That's how I'm gonna do it. But yeah, it's cool to see their process. Like some of these ones that didn't end up being used at all is cool to see. I thought I went to the Pokemon Center. And actually I can tell with some of these they end up being designs for Pokemon in other games. Like I can see this tree one right here, this little white Christmas tree one. Like with like hands. Like I can tell that one became Snover in another one here. It looks like this Star Dog might have been an alternate version of Manectric or maybe Luxray. It's like the same idea, I can tell. Oh, this little tree root Pokemon looking one. I think you can tell that one became Bonsly. And they've had like a prototype baby version of the Flygon line, which I see they made Trapinch like way up in the chart already. But over here, they had this older design for a pre-evolution of Vibrava. But I guess they were just like, well, we don't like this one. Let's just make it Trapinch. And then that's why Trapinch looks like completely different from the rest of the line. Is how I'm looking at it. It looks like the bottom half of the list, they were pretty much set on a lot of the designs that ended up making it in Gen 3. Like, I don't see any more beta Pokemon in the second half of this image. There's like old versions of Castform down here. Let's see. So here's some stuff I'm noticing. I think this dog either became the Stoutland line in Gen 5 or one of the dogs in I think Mabostiff or Mastiff or whatever those ones in Scarlet and Violet. And I think this one, this crab looking guy, it looks like it has magnets for hands, but it also kind of looks like Cloth, also from Gen 9. And this other one, this like half blue, half yellow guy, it looks like a prototype of both Scraggy, because it looks like the bottom half is like a suit that it wears, but it also looks like the fossil Pokemon in Gen 8, where it's like half one Pokemon, half the other, referencing the fact that like they gotten some of the bone matchups wrong. It kind of looks like that, color scheme wise. That's what I'm reminding me of. But yeah, the lore is disgusting. I don't want to talk about the lore. I can see why they do it, to just make it to seem like more interesting to write legends around. What's weird is that like we found the a description, a Pokédex description of something. I saw it earlier today in this Discord. Oh, for Jinx. Like, I don't get the part where they decide when or when not to write new lore for the Pokemon. Like, you would think it would be like for each new game that they add something new information about the Pokemon, if it can be tamed in that game. But like, the most description it has is for Gen 3, which you can't get it in at all. So it's just weird that those have the longest description. But like, this is how they write like kind of lore and legends for all the Pokedex entries, maybe. You know, bro, it reminds me of all the books you see in Gen 4's Canalave library, where you read about like the person in the past who smote Pokemon with a sword, and it's kind of graphic, like just as much as a Pokemon game can get. But it's just like they just wrote a guy who was killing Pokemon with a sword, and that's just like, what? But then there's also more like flavor text in the Legends books in that library about like how Pokemon would, the little translation is that Pokemon would sometimes get married, or there were once people who were married to Pokemon, and it was a normal thing. But that's like the literal translation. The official one is like, well, okay, they were just very close. They ate together at the same table. There was sometimes like no distinguishing between the two. Like, that's how they sugarcoated it or narrowed it down for like other audiences or other regions. But then like they also had all this proto text for like them actually going to depth with like the complexities of their dumb weird marriages and shit. Well, I don't know about that one. It's also telling me that I don't have to make my Pokemon in the exact order. Like I could just do whatever comes to my mind first, place them in the numbered list later. I think I should do that because I have ideas for other Pokemon that aren't like the ones that I would see in order of a normal Pokemon Dex entry. So maybe I should just do those ideas just to get them out there before like taking forever to finish the starter set. Alright, go! Yeah! Yeah, oh. I remember it being more cinematic in some other game. I don't remember. I think it was Gen 4 or 5. Or it shows you like different angles of going up the waterfall to the post game, or I don't remember. I just remember it being. It took a lot longer in the original Game Boy Advance game. That's what it was. I'm just gonna have to put strengths on Swampert. I hate this part of the game. This happens all the way up to Gen 4. You just have to like ruin your Pokemon, and it's not fun. Anyway, going into the place with the people and the things. You know what's weird? Speaking of the leaks, I was watching Scott the Waz's channel on the DS late. The games that came out late in its life cycle, like Black 2 and White 2, came out like while the 3DS was already launched. And he was saying like, why didn't they save Black 2 and White 2 for the 3DS? It would have been a great debut game for... What the fuck was that? It would have been a great game for the 3DS to have instead of X and Y being its first game. Because also, the X and Y didn't come till like much later. I don't think. The 3DS came out in like 2011. I remember getting it at launch. And X and Y didn't come out until like 2013. So like 2 years later. Having to hold on to this thing while it had like no games at launch was kind of a pain. But there was I know that he said that, but there was a build of I don't know if it was like a whole game, but there's like screenshots from this leak of a 3D model of Hilda walking around with like an environment made up of like DS textures. So like I think they may have been planning to do that around the time that 3DS's launch, but they already had a full build of like Black 2 and White 2 going on simultaneously. I'm assuming it could just be that they used it for testing to make before they made X and Y, but I like to believe that they thought about it. They thought about making a build of Black 2 and White 2 in 3D for the 3DS, considering how much that game like tries to be cinematic with its like DS graphics. It's like I could totally buy them having thought about making it alongside the 3DS too. But maybe they were pressed for time. I was also thinking like they would have already spent time making the animated sprites for Gen 5. So they were probably in the middle of making all the 3D models that were going to end up in X and Y also. So they would, if they were going to try to make it launch with the 3DS, they would have to take the time to make all of those models in time for just Black 2 and White 2, and then do it again for X and Y. So I figured they waited. So they were just like, let's just make a build of Black 2 and White 2 for the DS, and then put our development time into X and Y. I think I see the process there with that. Because my other thought was they didn't have to do much, right? Because Pokédex 3D was already a thing. It was already like one of those free little apps that they had on the 3DS eShop, because there was like nothing. There was no games out. Or there was just like ports in other versions of other games. Like there was Rayman DS, which I thought was a new 3DS game, but that was just like another port of Rayman 2. There's Street Fighter 4. Some other crap I wasn't interested in. Samurai Warriors. There's like Ridge Racer. Just like crap. And I didn't want any of that shit. But yeah, Pokédex 3D was an app where they did make like all the 3D Pokemon up to Gen 5. So actually that adds to my other theory that they would have tried to launch with launch the 3DS with Black 2 and White 2. They have all these 3D models ready to go from this Pokédex app. They could have I think they were trying to do it. I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. It makes sense if you think about it. And actually, here's something completely different that I didn't talk about. I didn't talk about how much I like the Ultra Beast art for their home worlds. Actually, I know you're supposed to use flash in here, but I can still totally see the entire thing with just through my monitor. If I angle my head right. You can do the same thing on a regular 3DS. If you just like angle your head right, you can still see the environments. Another one of those things. Another one of those things. But looking at all the art for the Ultra Beast is like super fucking cool. And it has this like edginess to Pokemon that I think we're never really gonna see again. And just like mysteriousness too. Like we don't know a lot. There's supposed to be like aliens within Pokemon. And it's realized like stuff like Deoxys or Clefairy are also maybe Ultra Beasts. And like where their homeworlds and stuff like that. What planets do they come from? What dimensions do they come from? I think that's all super cool to think about. And I know they won't put a lot of thought into it because they know that this is what like most players don't really care about, which sucks. But all the official art just like makes me just want a game where you go to these places, and I don't think there really is one for Blacephalon. It shows him his background in like this like palm tree environment, like island type place. I guess since that's where you find them in the game, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because those are two, Sakataka and Blacephalon are two new Ultra Beasts for that game. But since you don't actually find them in the wormholes, you find them in the fields on Pony Island. So that one in that art could just be Pony Island. You just find them in the grass. They're just there. And I think you can kill like up to like 2 or 3 before they say, okay, you caught them all. You don't need to come back over here again. Anyway, what do I think about this victory road? Like, this is a pretty good victory road. It has so many twists and turns. It feels like the good like final dungeon of this whole game. As far as victory roads go, I think the one in Black 2 and White 2 is really cool. And I think the one in Sun and Moon is also kind of cool. Like, it takes places in an ice mountain. I kind of like where it is, not so much like the complexity of it and how like challenging it is. It's just kind of a giant open round hallway where you just find. It's easy. It's Pokemon. I like the setting of it. It's different from just being like a cave somewhere in the region. It's like an ice mountain. That's different from, it's different. A lot of the stuff X Sun and Moon has going for it is that it's just different. And you can call it easy or for babies or whatever, but the different experience of it all just puts it up higher in my mind. But anyway, for this one, this is one of those dungeons that you have to like bring all the HMs for, because you might use Surf or Strength or Rock Smash. Like, I kind of hate that shit now. I don't like it anymore now. But it does make you do some of the stuff. Going across bridges, going up and down ladders, do this, do that. Did somebody die? I think somebody died. No, okay. Ooh. You look great forever, kid. I don't remember what you said. What's the toughest victory road? I don't remember X and Y's, even though I just did that one. I'm sorry, did I say I liked Black Gen 5's Victory Road? You're just going up the side of a mountain. I think you do have to use like Strength and Rock Smash up. That one was kind of annoying, I will say that. Okay, X and Y's Victory Road was kind of cool. Like, it goes across like bridges and little waterfalls and walkways and stuff. That one, you're like really high up too. There's like bird Pokemon like in the air coming to get you. That one's okay. And then just, you know, the OG Victory Road in red and blue. That one is kind of cool. That one's like super windy. It does make you pull all the stops to like make sure you know where you're going. Use all your HMs. Moltres is there in that Victory Road. You can find a legendary in a Victory Road. That's kind of cool. Well, I don't remember Gen 2's Victory Road, if you even do that. Because isn't it just the Indigo one again? Or I guess according to these images, the Gen 2 Victory Road is also just like a generic cave. Doesn't really, not really that interesting. They can only get away with doing it once, and that was in Gen 1. And then in Gen 2, it was just kind of like another big cave. And then there's this one. There's like the mix. They start putting some water in here. There's a bunch of hard trainers everywhere. Let's see here. Do I have any more? I do have hyper potions. I only have 2, so you better make the most of it. And you get to fight your rival in this one. I think you do in Gen 2's Victory Road also. Anyway, I can't really say which is my favorite Victory Road. I don't like Victory Road. I guess I don't really care for this one. I don't like the ones that make me use up all the HMs. That's it. Like, I don't like having to not bring a full team in here. I guess by sheer definition of what I don't like, I guess the Sun and Moon one, just because it's not really based around like using HMs the entire dungeon. And I get to bring a full team with me. I don't remember the one in Scarlet and Violet. I don't think there is one. You just go up there, there's just a room, and then you just go to the building and then you're in. Okay, now remember, the Scarlet and Violet Victory Road is the name of the quest line, so it isn't an actual place you go to. Like, it's so dumb. And it's just a building where you go, and the first person you talk to is Rika, who's at the reception, or she's like the receptionist, and then she does this little interview with you that's just these dumb questions about the game, and then you fight the Elite Four, and that's it. And you don't get to do it again. It's lame. I hate it. Ugh. Like that. I think that's probably the worst one. Like, it's not even a place. It's the name of the quest. It's not even a gauntlet of just hard trainers to go through, or like a maze. Like, the game already takes place out in the open all the time because there's no interior buildings. So they couldn't just make a Victory Road. Like, ugh. Alright, I'm gonna cut to the end because this is actually boring to watch. Hold up, this guy has Musharna? That's a Gen 5 character. He cannot be here. My experience of reliving 3rd Gen is ruined by Musharna because he's not supposed to be here yet. He's not supposed to be here yet. Ah! Okay, so actually in this remake, we get this pretty looking new area. And I can go up here because I have Waterfall. I can see what that TM is. Going up the stairs and going down 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 the sideways stairs. It's Exeter. Hey, that's exactly what I needed for the bug boy. So now he won't be so useless no more. I still need him to have swords dance. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, he needs like all the moves he can get. Let's go with Will-O-Wisp. He doesn't really need Will-O-Wisp. Like, he's gonna burn somebody and then what? Die? Like, that's it. That's what he do. Whoa. And you get this cool moment here. I don't care what anybody says. This moment is cool. Maybe not the character who it is cool. Yeah, Wally's not cool. I'm sorry. But look, we're in the field of flowers, the red dandelions from Cave Story. Because we're in the cave. This is actually a gigantic Cave Story reference. See, Wally eats the red flower, and he becomes sick, and he becomes Super Wally, and he turns aggressive, and then he dies right after. Yumps, because he has cancer.
I bet you must be surprised to see me in a place like this. But this promise that we will always be... It was really all thanks to you that I could make it this far, Yumps. It was only because I lost to you back then I could be even stronger. I'm sure that you and your Pokemon stuff...
This is supposed to be like a cool surprise, but it's not, since you haven't seen him the entire game after that first battle at what, Mauville, or outside of his house or whatever. You haven't seen him like the whole rest of the game. It's not really a surprise or cool at all. So you don't get to see his growth. He just shows up at the end. But he does have a cool like Persona music theme.
I won't lose anymore. My Pokemon gave me the courage, the strength to fight. I'm for the win for their sake. So get ready. Here I come.
If this song was like punched up faster, this would be a really good song. Alright, but now we're Personaing it up in here. Alright, he has Altaria. I think most of his Pokemon are just potential megas. Like, he has Altaria, Gardevoir. Sometimes he has Garchomp also. He has Gallade. Like, he just has all the potential megas, kind of. Altaria, huh? Altaria. I wish I had Rock Slide now. I wish I had Rock Slide now. Well, no, I didn't mean to do that. Ugh. Wow, that did a lot. Uh-oh. Alright, gonna Mega Evolve. Gonna Power Punch anyway. Because you want to Power Punch just for the boosts. It's cool. Yeah. I could probably kill it with Power Punch. Ow. Ouch. Take this. Think you can forget me? Think you can take me? Don't forget me. Think you can take me? Don't forget me. Hopefully he doesn't have a grass type. That would be very bad. And I like this battle background too. You're in like this. Suddenly you're in a field of flowers, even though there was just like a few. There's your grass type. Let's see. Who would he be fast? He's faster than Altaria. Is he faster than the other guy? Roselia? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's faster than Roselia. He's supposed to have Roserade. I thought he had Roserade by now. Bruh! Perish! Ugh. Oh. I like Roselia. It's cool. I'm invincible! Magneton. And he has Magnezone in his full team. Alright. Please don't have Sturdy. That would be uncool of you. Of course he has Sturdy. Screech! Victory, Screech! Ooh. Power Punch again. Yeah. It's a pretty good move for it. Like you have to use it a few times if you can survive it, but after that he's good. He's good to go. In fact, I can do it again and get the kill. Actually, Power Punch was really fucking good on Mega Kangaskhan because of Kangaskhan's really new ability, where like it attacks twice, so it can use Power Punch twice in the same turn, and just get like 2 free attack boosts and do damage. It's like, excuse me. Oh shit, he's gonna do it! He's gonna do it! It's me, Mega Gallade. Haha. Mega Gallade is kind of cool. I just don't know how to use him. I can't build a team that protects Mega Gallade from like really fast psychic types or flying types.
Oh jeez, man. I've lost. I really am going to die of space cancer like Maria. Hey, Yumps, you and your Pokemon too. Thank you for not holding back when you battled against us. For not holding back when you beat us. And I got laid. Everyone, thank you so much. I feel like I've been able to take another few steps with you. I know. I'll give you this to keep. I hope it will reward you with our battle with me and Gallade. I think you can rebattle him in some context in this game, but his music doesn't play again. It's just like the normal battle theme. It's like, I thought that was his battle theme, but it doesn't play when you fight him again, and that's weird. Okay, well, looks like we're at the Pokemon League. Don't let the door hit your butt on the way in.